All right, let's get it. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. Give me a replay, gang. If you're just now tuning in, my name's Haziq Ali, and every morning we here to help you grow.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you.
That's a fact. Everybody ready? I want to welcome the LinkedIn crew.
Please announce yourself.
Yeah, I want to welcome the Facebook crew.
All participants are muted.
Okay, YouTube checking in. I love that.
Entry and exit tones are off.
It's been quite a week already. I hope you feel the same way. Some of you know, some of you don't, but yesterday was my birthday, man. I had an incredible birthday. What did I do? I worked. Jim Rohn said something amazing. He was talking about how most people spend their lives trying to escape. I remember I saw this quote from T.I. on Instagram where he was like, you party every week. What exactly are you celebrating? You know what I mean? What have you accomplished? What have you achieved? Well, I got to tell you, man, one of the things that I am so grateful for is that I have accomplished, I have achieved living a life where I don't feel the need to escape. So on my birthday, what I did was I went to the office and we put in work. You know what I mean? Now, that's not to say I'm not about to do a lot of having fun over these next few weeks. Me and my brother are going to Colombia. So I'll be broadcasting live from Colombia soon, et cetera, so forth. I'm checking out the David Blaine residency. I don't know if many of you know how fascinated I am with magic, et cetera, so forth, but David Blaine has apparently gotten to my kids too. So they convinced Pops to grab these tickets to the David Blaine residency in Vegas. So I think we're going to like his second show. I think he's doing like 6 shows, stuff like that. On and on and on. A lot of blessings, but I feel fascinated. I feel curious. I feel excited about life this next 365 days. I was telling a friend of mine that it feels to me like I'm in the cockpit, yet I feel like I'm along for the ride. Can anybody relate to that? It just feels weird. But salute. Thank you so much to everybody who sent me birthday blessings and stuff and like put prayers in the air for us and our movement. I'm so proud to be one of you. For those of you that don't know, it's time for us to get started with this 15 minutes of fire. My name is Haziq Ali. I got a question for you, right? How many of us have wanted to become the most valuable person in our profession, right? How many of us want to be more valuable? Somebody say, become more valuable, become more powerful. Can you type that out? I want to see who's awake. Can you type that out and give me a share? Somebody say, become more powerful. Become more valuable, become more powerful. Can somebody type that out for me? How many of us have wanted to become the most valuable person in our profession or the most valuable person in our professional position? The most valuable person in our industry. Can somebody say that? Can somebody say, become valuable, become powerful? Can somebody kick it with me? Become valuable, become powerful. As I continue to improve my own leadership skills, I've been fortunate to learn from a lot of the best who ever did it. Some of you know my mentor is Mr. Les Brown. Some of you know my business partner was a multimillionaire by his mid-20s, et cetera, so forth. I'm gonna tell you something though. One of the most powerful ways for you to become more valuable is for you to master communication. These 5 things that I'm about to give you are worthy of you working on them every single day. I believe that if you take these 5 things I'm about to give you and you take them serious, you dedicate, you commit to them, you can become the most valuable person to anyone and everybody you come into contact with. Winston Churchill said that public speaking is the skill that turns commoners into kings. Public speaking is a skill that turns commoners into kings. And so, what I want to talk to you today is about mastering communication. And that's the first one. Somebody put this in the comments. Master public speaking. Master public speaking. Yeah, Birmingham, Alabama in the house. That's right, y'all. Become more valuable, become more powerful. Become more valuable, become more powerful. Okay, somebody in one of the Facebook groups said they got a spot for me in Columbia. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, Brooklyn, New York is in the joint. Let's get it, Chanel. What's up? What's up? Fab Lab is in the house. Let's go. Yeah, become more valuable, become more powerful. Isn't that true? Become more valuable, become more powerful, Suzanne. Welcome this morning. We got LinkedIn checking in. Become more valuable, become more powerful, y'all. You ready? Become more valuable, become more powerful. Become more valuable, become more powerful. All right, so the first one is master public speaking. I gave you a Winston Churchill quote on that. I'm not saying you're going to master it today, but what I am saying is that this is an area everybody should want to master. It's going to create immediate impact. Think about it. Every verbal interaction with another individual is part of the definition of public speaking, which is the act of speaking face to face to a live audience. You got a live audience every day. Have you ever said, let me rephrase that? Or have you ever said, does that make sense? You ever done that? When we say either one of those statements, I believe it's because there's a lack of confidence that what we're saying to somebody is being understood by the other person. Do you view yourself as a public speaker? See, you need to. Do you view what you do as part of your public speaking role? Because if you're serious about mastering your communication, millionaires, you're going to have to accept the fact that first and foremost, you're a public speaker. You hear me? After you accept this, right? That's the mindset part. Then it's time to get to the heart set part where you cherish it. And then from there, you get to go to the skill set part where you nurture it. But first, you need to acknowledge this. You need to accept the fact you're a public speaker. Now it's time for you to get more confident on how you speak, right? Because you know the more effective you are with how you speak, the more effective you are with how you communicate with others, you're going to start to create so much more self confidence that you start seeking out opportunities to do it now. You hear me? All of a sudden, you're going to be seeking out opportunities to create new conversations. All of a sudden, you're seeking out opportunities to improve the conversations you're already having, right? But if you're going to master public speaking, guess what goes hand in hand with that? Write this down as number 2, master listening. Somebody say, master listening. And then give me a share. Somebody say, you got 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth. Do the math. That's like some kind of sacred math right there, right? You got 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth. What does that mean? That means you should be looking and listening twice as much as you talk. It's time to master listening. Communicating is such an important skill that you got to be great at, regardless of your profession, in order to serve your customer base best, in order to serve your staff best, in order to connect with them. When you're speaking to them, you got to be great at listening to them. You know, you always hear me tell in sales, right? You always hear me say, if I present my solution before you've even told me your problem, what I'm doing is begging. But if I present my solution after I've listened to your problem, now I'm just helping you out. And everybody ducks a beggar, just like everybody loves a servant. What am I saying? I'm saying you got to listen if you want to make some money. You hear me? You know how we say learn more, earn more? Well, how are you going to learn without listening? Check it out. You have to be great at speaking to them. That's true. But if you ain't actively listening, millionaires, you're going to limit your ability to be able to speak to them in a relevant way. And now you're losing credibility. Now when you're talking, they're like, what's this guy talking about? Right? What is she rambling on about, right? Because you didn't listen. So what are we saying? We're saying master listening, master asking really smart questions and then writing down the answers. I dare you. Write down the hot button responses where they just do these things where they get emotional. You see their eyes change. It's like this is stuff to write down. What you're doing is you're starting to get uh, uh, predictably better at some of the most crucial elements that help you master listening. In my opinion, people believe more of what they see versus what they hear. So your actions and the listening process are of paramount importance. They're watching you to see if you listen. You hear me? Whatever you do, you're not supposed to just write things down just to write them down. But I do want to say this: when they say something that's important, maybe you want to show them you consider them, watch this, noteworthy. Y'all heard that word before, noteworthy? What if you consider them so worthy of respect? What if you consider what they're saying so relevant to your life? What if you consider the advice they're giving so valuable? What if you consider the point of view that they're sharing so fascinating that you write it down, that you find them noteworthy? You hear what I'm saying to you? What if you find them so interesting that you create this personnel file for them? Some of you know my 3 P's of the comfort curve was posture of a friend, personnel file, and then plug them in somewhere. What am I saying? I'm saying the way we communicate with others ultimately determines our lifestyle. Keep on communicating with people the wrong way and burn them bridges. I dare you. Millionaires, you're determining the quality of your life with the way that you communicate with others and yourself. You know, y'all hear me say it all the time. There are 2 types of communication. One type of communication is internal. We call that programming. Somebody write that in the comments. Internal communication is called programming. And then you have external communication, which we call influence. Write that down. External communication is called influence. And what I'm telling you is the way you communicate with others and the way you communicate with yourself determines your quality of life. So that brings us to number 3 you need to master. You ready? You ready? Master your personality. Write this down, y'all. My personality creates my personal reality. You know how I just now said the way you communicate with others and the way you communicate with yourself determines your quality of life? Check it out. Somebody write this down in the comments because this is important. Personality creates personal reality. The way you're easy to talk to or the way you're difficult to approach is part of the way your personality is engineered. It's part of the way you're designing yourself. And it's important for you to understand your energy level during the communication process is vital. I give you an example. I ask you, how's it going? You're like, man, I'm still here. You're still here? Do you think that if I have this incredible idea to share, I'm going to share it with the guy who's still here? Oh, well, I'm making it. Really? I'm hanging in there. What, do you have a noose around your neck? Somebody write this in the comments if you believe me. A high energy result will never come to a low energy source. You got to master your personality. You got to master your personality. It is important to understand your energy level during the communication process because it's either going to create the impression that you're somebody who others want to talk to, or it's going to create the impression that you're somebody that people want to avoid. Your personality is a reflection of how you'll be to work with, how you'll be to communicate with long term. It can either be an asset for you or it can be a liability for you. Do you sound confident? Do you sound excited to talk to other people when you're engaging with them? Is your aura becoming a business card? Are you an electromagnet for opportunities, for resources, for ideas? Because I'm gonna tell you something. You have high energy then. Are people moving towards you in the communication process, or do you find them retreating from you? If you want to start mastering your own personality, start reverse engineering the process by studying and auditing how other people communicate with you. Like, man, I really like how they did that. I love how whenever I see them, they give me compliments. I really like how this person, whenever they walk in a room, they just light the room up. You know, sometimes I tell our customer service staff, your focus needs to be making somebody's day. How do we do that? Why don't we begin to study what caused us to feel a certain way when somebody made us feel really good? Maybe you're now able to observe, because you're on this training right now, how others communicate with you, how their personality is like with you. It's a great way to see how we might already perceive them or how you might already be perceived. How did they make you feel during the interaction? Huh? Did you feel like they were excited to talk to you? Or did you feel like they were just going through the motions? Here's number four. Somebody say, master your tonality. You know, you always hear him say, man, I don't want to, they're going to give me a song and dance. They're going to give me a song and dance. Well, check this out. Believe it or not, communication is more the song and more the dance than it is the lyrics. The song and the dance matter way more than the lyrics. What's the dance? Your body language. What's the song? Your tonality. What's the lyrics? What you're actually saying. How many of you hear songs on the radio all day and you don't know what they're saying? You don't know what they're saying until about the seventh or eighth time, or one of your kids walk in the room saying, you're like, that's what they're saying? Oh, heck no, we're not playing that no more. Next time that song comes on, cut it off, right? Because you didn't know what the lyrics were saying. Let me tell you what you caught. You caught the song and the dance. You know that's just like communication. You got to master your tonality because some communication scientists will tell you that's like 80% of the communication, your tonality. You're so stupid. Sounds way different from you so stupid. You crazy. Sounds a little bit different from you crazy. Huh? Master your tonality, your ability or inability to inflect during the conversation. And the timing of your inflection is exactly how the person on the other side of the conversation is going to feel, how they're going to react to you. Do you hear me? Every single time. That's exactly how it's going to work. They're going to watch carefully because they naturally want to match your energy. If you're going to become a master communication, then you're going to need to become a master tonality. What you're showing when you master tonality is that you've got the discipline to control your emotions. What I want you to do right now is think about two conversations you've had where one went well and another one went horribly wrong. I can almost bet that you can identify the exact moment in those conversations where you knew it was moving in the right direction or where it had taken a left turn, like some kind we had gotten off the path, right? One great way to begin mastering your tonality is to record yourself having a phone conversation with a family member, or record yourself having a conversation in the house with a family member, or record yourself talking to a customer or a prospect or a significant other. Now, replay that conversation back and write down the areas during the conversation where you hear yourself shift the tone. Now, most of you aren't going to do this, but most of you aren't going to master communication. This is just for those who are serious about changing their life, not just curious about changing their life. Am I making sense? Imagine if you listen not only for when your conversation starts to change, what if you listen for the same thing in the person you were talking to? This is a great way to start identifying how to master, how to become aware of, and then begin to master your tonality. And this is the last one I'm going to give you. This is the last one I'm going to give you. Here's number 5. Master your ability to transfer emotion, transmit energy. Master your ability to transfer emotion. Somebody write this down in the comments. Sales is the transfer of certainty. Sales is the transfer of certainty. I dare you. Write that down in the comments and give me a share. Sales is the transfer of certainty. Sales is the transfer of certainty. So number 5 is we're going to master our ability to transfer emotion. This is where your current state of mind, this is where your current mood, this is where your current knowledge on the topic that we're communicating about is shifted to you by the other party that you're communicating with. It starts to shift, right? When you're around somebody that captivates you, that piques your interest, right? When you're around somebody that holds your attention, it's because they've created an emotional reaction from you that you now want to invest more into. You liking how this is feeling, right? At the same time, if you're around somebody that frustrates you or makes you want to choke the light, right? Anybody ever felt like that? Now you want to cut off interaction with them. It's because they've created a reaction from you where you feel they're withdrawing energy from you. They're sucking it out. Anybody ever read Celestine Prophecy? That's exactly what it is. It's the transfer of certainty, shiz. That's exactly right, Vita. Let's go, Julian. Check it out. Imagine you were the cause of that happening to somebody else. Imagine because of the way that you're doing your energy, they want to choke the life out of you or they want to avoid you. Imagine if because of the way you transfer energy into them, they were grateful for you. Millionaires, let me tell you how you create it. You got to give what you want to get. You got to give what you want to receive. Somebody type that out for me. Give the energy you want to receive. I know that sounds so basic, but I'm going to tell you something. Common sense ain't so common. What if you were the cause of them feeling incredible? Here's how you do it: possess a grateful mindset and having the best attitude. That's how you do it. Gratitude and attitude. That's the key to mastering your ability to transfer emotion, at least the kind of emotion that's going to serve you. Now, we've had politicians hit the highest offices in the land that would use their powers to create chaos and create anger and stoke the fires of frustration, right? But you're a good leader. So, what you want to do is create more harmony. What you want to do is create more energy that's moving in a direction that you said you wanted to be. And it's important right now, more than ever, that our ability to communicate with one another is something that we work on. I'm talking about in a state of transparency, in a state of reciprocity. We've got to get into a vibe where we're going to deposit way more into other people than we withdraw. And if you focus on being great at these 5 things that we just now named, you're going to become a master communicator. You're going to begin to be able to dominate your profession, your industry, your niche, your professional position. Your interactions with other people are going to get more precise, more efficient, more elegant, more effective. Millionaires, master these 5 areas of communication and then come back and tell us how it went for you. Right? And if we're missing any, I want you to put them in that same put them down here in the comments. It's affirmation time. We went a little bit over time, but that's okay. It's affirmation time. Call in right now, y'all. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful. Let's go, entrepreneurs. The money comes to me easily and frequently.